Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well. For today's class, you will need to have a strap or something that resembles a strap. So it can be a scarf or a belt if you don't have a specific yoga strap. And we're going to be focusing a lot on the back today. So this is specific for back pain and especially lower back pain. So if you're suffering at all, if you spend a lot of time sat at a desk or you're hunched over, maybe texting quite a lot, then this will be great for you. And also we can tend to get quite a lot of back pain if you are very tight in your hips or your hamstrings as well. So that's something to bear in mind if you're doing a lot of running or cardio exercises. This class could be a perfect remedy for any aches and pains that you might be experiencing. So come to lie down on your backs. You won't need your strap just for now, but just have it somewhere handy so that it's not too far for you to reach. And then come to lie all the way down on your mat. Keep your knees bent with your feet about hip width apart. And you can just let your arms come down by your side. Let the eyes come down to a close for a few rounds of breath. And we'll take 2 deep breaths in and long breaths out. And then just start to breathe normally, not changing or complicating anything about the rhythm, but just simply observing how your breath is moving around your body today. And to start with, we're going to just work with some very simple pelvic tilts. So it sounds a lot more complicated and fancier than it is. You can keep your eyes closed for this, and you can also keep your arms either down by your side or you can reach them up and overhead with a slight bend in your elbow, whatever feels right for you. And then to start with, start to press down through your sacrum, so that flat bone right at the base of the spine, and start to push your belly button up towards the sky. So you'll get this sort of rainbow shape through your spine, and you should be able to slide your hand underneath the back of the base of your spine. And then from here, reverse that movement. So start to press the lumbar spine down into the earth. You'll feel your glutes start to lift ever so slightly. So your lower back is really flush to the mat. Good. Keep working through a few like this, so pressing down through your sacrum, arching through your lower back, not you Prosecco. And then allow the movement to reverse, so you push down through your lumbar spine, the back of your pelvis is pressing down into the earth. So it's almost a little bit sensual. I can't begin to imagine what this looks like on camera, but you're pressing down through the sacrum to arch through the lower back, and then you're reversing this, so you're pressing the lower back down and lifting the glutes ever so slightly. And all that this is doing is just releasing and relaxing the pelvis. Good. Take a last couple like this. Doesn't matter whether you breathe in or out for each movement, just let the breath come naturally. And then come back to find your neutral spine, find stillness, and draw the knees up in towards your chest. Either interlace the hands at the top of the shin, or just take hold of the top of the shin or each kneecap. Now, instead of really cranking and squeezing those knees up into the chest here, I want you to soften and relax your grip. Find a slight bend of your elbows as you draw the knees towards you. But we're not forcing anything here. So we're really trying to keep the whole of the spine connected with the earth. And just breathe. Use that breath to soften into this posture. And then you can just start to take some little rocks from side to side. So by keeping the whole spine connected with the earth, as you rock from side to side, you'll be able to massage out the tops of the glutes. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. If it feels better for you and a little rock from side to side is slightly triggering for your back, then think about drawing some little semicircles with the knees from side to side instead. So if you're experiencing any sharp shooting pain in your lower back before or during this class, then you want to really try and use these movements to invite softness. So if you're not experiencing that and there isn't any relief from your pain, then that's probably an indication that you just need to alter what you're doing ever so slightly. Amazing. Come back to find stillness. Let your left foot float down to the earth, keeping that left leg bent. You can give your right knee a little bit of a squeeze up towards the chest. Again, nothing too forceful here, but just so you feel a slight bit of compression on your hip crease. And then take hold of your strap and loop the strap over your right foot, pressing it up into the air and extending your right leg. Now again, try to completely relax your shoulders. Let the arms be really heavy here. And just breathe. Take the breath to the back of your leg, into the hamstrings. And as I mentioned at the start of the class, a lot of the time when we're experiencing stiffness and pain in the lower back, it can be due to tight hamstrings, whether that's sport related or because you're spending a lot of time seated. So by releasing and stretching into the hamstrings, we can often experience quite a lot of relief into the lower back as well. As the body starts to respond here, you might be able to add a little bit more intensity to this stretch. But as always, our aim isn't to experience any pain of any sort. But equally, you want to make sure that you are you're riding that edge, you are pushing yourself to a point of benefit. Good, take 3 more breaths here. Let the tailbone be really heavy. I should have said a little while ago that if you need to keep a little bend through your knee, then that's also no problem at all. Don't worry if your leg isn't fully extended. We're going to release the strap, just place it to one side, keep your right leg elevated, and then take a bend through your right knee and cross the right ankle over the left thigh. To start with, stay exactly as you are and just use your right hand on the inside of the right thigh to gently press that right knee away from you. As you do this, make sure that your right foot is flexed. That will just protect your knee. And then if you're here and you'd like to go a little bit further, you have 2 options. Either you can place a block underneath your left foot just to lift it up slightly, or you can keep lifting that left foot up and interlace your hands behind your left thigh. As you do this, keep pressing that right knee away from you so that you get that really good stretch down the outside of your right thigh. And keep pressing your sacrum or your tailbone down into the earth so that you maintain that length all the way along the spine. If you can, completely relax your shoulders. Try and tuck the shoulder blades underneath you here so that the chest can stay broad and open. You can either be completely still here, or again, you can find some very subtle movement from side to side. Really take your time here, and if you want to pause in any shape, then that's no problem at all. You might find a little sweet spot that's really worth sticking around for. Amazing. 3 more breaths. By finding some movement from side to side, we're giving the lower back a gentle little massage. And this posture is really getting into the hips. So on this side, it's the right hip and the glutes. And again, just finding that release in these areas can often have a great knock-on effect for minimizing and reducing the pain that you might be experiencing in your lower back. Come back to find stillness, release that left foot down, and then allow the right foot to come down as well. Just pause for a moment here if you want to take those little pelvic tilts once again, just to release and soften in the lower back. That's no problem. Or maybe you just want to settle in stillness so that you can really appreciate the difference that you are hopefully experiencing in your right leg and the right glutes and the right lower back in comparison to the left side, which we haven't done just yet. Take a big breath in through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth. Keep the right foot where it is. Draw your left knee up into your chest. Interlace the hands at the top of the left shin just so that you can squeeze that left knee in a little bit more. Once again, take hold of your straps. Place the strap over the left sole of your foot, or the left foot this time, and extend that left leg up towards the sky. Now you might straight away notice a difference on this side in comparison to the right hand side. That's okay. I certainly feel a lot more restricted and tight in my left hamstrings in comparison to my right. So just take that breath to the back of the leg. Use the inhales to guide you to the places that are maybe holding on to tension, to tightness. And then use those exhales to really try and relax. Remembering that you can keep a softness to your knee. You'll still get a great stretch down the back of the leg. Last big breath. And once again, release the strap. Allow it to just drop down to the earth. You won't be needing it again, so it doesn't matter where it is. And then cross your left ankle over your right thigh this time, starting by flexing that left foot. And then you can take your left hand and just gently press on the inside of your left thigh so that the knee moves away from the body. If the invitation is there, then there is the option to deepen this stretch by floating the right foot up off the mat. Again, first option is to just place the right foot on a block. Perhaps you're finding that you're somewhere in between the floor and being completely lifted. But if there is space, there's also the option to interlace your hands behind the back of your right thigh. Now, what we want to avoid here is either lifting the bum up off the mat by a lot, or the other end, lifting the shoulders and not being able to relax through the chest and the head. So we want to maintain length all the way along the spine, and that includes the cervical spine, so the neck. So just tuck your chin down towards your chest, press down through the back of the skull. Try to tuck those shoulder blades underneath you and really press down through your tailbone so that you get an even deeper stretch into the outside of the left thigh. Keep pressing your left knee away from you as well, and if you'd like to, you can find a little bit of movement here from side to side. For a lot of us, the stretch will deepen as you shift your weight into that left glute. So it might be that you want to hang out here for a few rounds of breath, really getting stuck in and intimate with that sensation. Take a last couple of breaths here. And then roll back to center if you were anywhere else. Come back to stillness and release the right foot back down to the earth, followed by the left foot. And again, just pause here, appreciating the stillness, appreciating the sensations that you're experiencing in your body right now. It can feel intuitive and beneficial to close down the eyes in some of these places of stillness so that you can really connect with what is going on with your body. And then draw those knees up into your chest once again. Cross the ankles. Now, if you're experiencing a lot of pain in your lower back at the moment, then I advise that you skip this next bit and just roll to your side and press up to a tabletop position. However, if you are feeling it and you want to get a little bit involved, then take hold of the outsides of your feet and just start to rock up and down your spine. Take your time here. And then once you've had a couple of rocks up and down the spine, draw the feet and the heels in towards your bum so that you can roll over the shins and come to find your tabletop position. Pause for a moment here, making sure that you're set up. Press the earth away through spread out fingers and firm palms. Find that slight doming across the top of the back, length along the spine, and draw the belly button back towards the spine just by a little bit so that you're supporting this whole posture with a strong core. And then we'll work through the very simple but very effective movements of cat-cow. So as you inhale, start to send your tailbone up towards the sky, let the belly drop, open up through your heart and lift your gaze. As you exhale, send the tailbone down, draw the belly button back, press through your hands so that you dome across the top of the back and draw your chin to your chest. Good. Inhaling to come back into our cow pose, belly drops, heart opens, lift the gaze. And exhale to come into your cow pose. This time pause here in your cow pose and just let the hips sway from side to side. Keep the movement slow and subtle. Come back to center, inhaling to open up through the heart, lifting the gaze. Keep pressing through the hands. And again, let those hips sway from side to side, pausing here. Come back to center, come back to your neutral spine. Tuck your right toes under, slide the right foot to the back of the mat. Press through your hands, push down through the ball of your right foot, and send the energy out through your heels. So you should get a good stretch down the back of your right leg. On your inhale, shift the weight forwards, lift the right leg up, and as you exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Keep the back knee lowered, adjust your stance as much or as little as you need to. So if you need to wiggle your back knee back, that's not a problem at all. And then if you have a block handy and you want to place that underneath your hands so that you can just press the heart forwards and let the hips drop down a little bit, then take hold of your block. Equally, if you want to go a little bit deeper and it feels good and comfortable for you right now, then you can always lower down onto maybe one elbow or maybe to both elbows. Try not to just collapse through the left hip and let everything roll to the left-hand side. Try to keep those hips nice and square. Hug your right knee in towards your right tricep and just allow the front of the left hip to drop down towards the mat. So we're really working to release it into the left hip flexors and also into the psoas, which is very deep and all incredibly connected with our lower back. Good. Take one more breath here. And then keeping that back knee where it is, just start to walk the hands back as you extend through your right leg, lifting the right toes. So both hands are still on the inside of your right leg here. Take a big breath in to lift and lengthen through the chest, pressing the heart forwards. And as you exhale, start to fold down towards the earth and let the chin drop down towards your chest. Take one more like this, inhaling to lift and lengthen through the spine, pressing the chest forwards, and exhale to soften and bow down towards the earth. Inhale to lift and lengthen once again. Press down through the fingertips. Slide your right knee back to meet the left, coming back into our tabletop position. Take a round of your cat-cow here if that feels good for you. Try to keep the movements really slow and mindful. And then come back to neutral. Tuck your left toes under this time. Slide your left foot to the back of the mat. Press down through the ball of the foot. Push through your hands so that the heel starts to go towards the back of the mat and you get this great stretch down the back of your left calf. On your next inhale, shift the weight forwards. Lift the left foot up off the mat. And as you exhale, step the left foot to the outside of your left hand. Again, pick up that back knee and shuffle it back if that feels right for you. Adjust the stance as much or as little as you need to. And then again, option to use your block here. Try to keep hugging that left knee into the upper left arm. And use the breath to let those hips gravitate down towards the earth, but without collapsing through the right hip and letting all of the weight drop down towards the right hand side. We want to keep the energy forwards. Good, one more breath. And then on your next exhale, start to walk the hands back, extend through your left leg, lift the left toes up. Take your time as you inhale, start to lift and lengthen through the spine. Take the gaze out long. Again, bring your block with you if you need to, if that's going to help. And then exhale to soften and bow down towards the earth. Even if it's not very far, that doesn't matter. The most important thing here is just trying to let that chin drop down towards your chest. Good, one more like this. Inhaling to ripple through the spine, opening it up, and exhaling to fold. Good, inhale to come back to a long spine. Press down through the fingertips and just step your left foot or left knee even back to meet the right, coming to find your tabletop position. Take one round of cat-cow here. And then come back to find your neutral spine. Tuck all 10 toes under. Walk the hands back and then press through the hands so that the knees lift. You roll to the heels. Keep the feet hip width apart. Start to extend through your legs as you lift the hips and find ragdoll at the back of the mat. Now the most important thing here is to keep a bend through your knees. So I want you to try and connect the front of your belly and the lower ribs with your thighs. So even if that means you're really, really bending through the knees, that's okay. It really doesn't matter. Take hold of opposite elbows with opposite hands here and just allow the upper body to sway from side to side. And what we're doing in this posture is using the weight of the arms and the upper body to try and lengthen the lower back, or the whole spine to be honest, but especially giving a little bit of respite to the lower back. If it feels better to just hang out here in stillness, then that's also not a problem at all. Take 3 more breaths. Feel free to let the head move from side to side or little circles. And then on your next exhale, release the hands down to the mat, walk the hands forwards. Drop the knees down into your tabletop position. Swing the feet to one side. Allow the hips to connect with the earth. Bring the feet out in front of you. Scoot your bottom towards your heels. And then lower all the way back down onto your back. Meeting down on the earth. Draw the heels in towards your bottom a little bit more. Open the arms out nice and wide into a T shape. And then lift your knees up off the mat and allow them to drop down towards the right hand side. If you want to scoot your hips over towards the left slightly, that's not a problem. But we're trying to find quite a gentle rotation through the spine here, nothing too intense or squashed. If you would like to, you can take the gaze over your left arm. One more big breath here. And then on your next inhale, return the gaze to center, lift the knees all the way back up, and then allow the knees to drop down to the left-hand side. Gaze can stay looking up towards the ceiling or over your right arm, whichever feels right for you. On your next inhale, return the gaze to neutral, lift the knees back up, squeeze them in towards your chest, very slightly. And as you exhale, extend the legs out long, let the arms come down by your side. Eyes can close just for a few rounds of cleansing breath. So breathing in through the nose, drawing it all the way down into the belly, the lower lungs, the upper lungs. Pause at the top of that inhale. And then as you exhale, open the mouth side out. One more like this. Big breath in through your nose. Pause at the top of the inhale. And exhaling. Good job. If you have time, then please do spend as much time in your Shavasana as you would like. If not, draw the knees up into your chest, place the hands behind your thighs, take a very gentle rock up to seated. Sitting up tall, softening the shoulders, bring your hands to heart center, resting the thumbs lightly on your chest, bow your head. Thank yourself, most importantly, for showing up for your practice today. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. I really hope that this helps to release any niggles, aches, or pains in your lower back. I'd love any feedback or any questions that you have, so just let me know. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks.